Okay. Hey folks, I'm Ted Cantu. We're here today with Joseph Dadich, and we're here looking at some copywriting and some direct marketing skills. So welcome, and Joe, welcome.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks for having me again.
All right, great. Let's look at this Frankenstein monster thing that we did.
Yeah, this thing is monstrous, but it's like anything else. If you put time into it, you're going to get the best result. And I definitely think that what we have here is the best result. We weeded through everything. We even cut up my sales copy to come up with, well, what we have here. But what we started with was a large monstrosity of pages and pages of repetition, and
it was good stuff. I mean, I like your sales copy. It was. I just noticed that when I was putting the web page together, a lot of it looked a little repetitious, and I thought, wow, I started losing my place as I was putting the page together. And I thought, well, I don't want that to happen to the reader. So what I had Joe do was come meet me, and I told us to bring some tape, bring some scissors, and we're going to chop up your sales letter. Oh, no, bring 3 copies of your sales letter.
And here's...
He thought I was kidding, folks, but I was not kidding. This is what we have.
Here's what it came out with. So we taped everything. Actually, we went through Ted's 10-step process of sales copy. And here's kind of how it looks when you're done. And it gets your thoughts organized, it gets your paper organized. I mean, obviously I had to go back and redo some of the items that I have on my Word document, but it gets you to think, so you're not just there with a red pen like a 9th grade English teacher. That's wrong.
Or
That's
wrong. Or a corporate job, right?
Yeah, exactly. Some corporate junkie. The guy who's sitting behind the desk all day while you're out there trying to sell. You got to have the tools and techniques, and these 10 steps is it. See, it's on the back. It's my little cheat sheet.
Yeah, that's great. This is going to be in the Smithsonian too, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So, no, seriously, though, this is a powerful thing. If you can remember the strategy, we talked about the 10 steps that makes a sales copy really kind of like jump off the page and get people to really read it. And the first thing you need is a really powerful headline, because the headline is 97% of your sales offer, and that's where it's going to be. A lot of your selling is done, and people make their buying decisions on whether or not, first of all, they should read your sales letter.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that it's actually hypnotic enough that people want to read it. So. And that's what we did. We basically said about attorneys for estate planning. Did you know that most of these estate planning attorneys get 95.7% of most family estates? And when you lose a family member, and a lot of families aren't prepared for that. And so we kind of went into a story too about how these 15 critical points can actually help you get yourself protected. Joe, give them that website. This is going to be on a website coming soon.
This is going to be on the first ever website with the 15 critical points at it's the number 1, estateplanningmichigan.com. We're going to launch it on that website, and 98% of my competition for estate planning attorneys, at least in my community, and it could be for your business, whatever you do, make widgets for cars or widgets for motorcycles. You want to separate yourself from your competitors. Right. And what I've found is it's just so drab, it's black and white, it's boring, it's the same stuff. Here's us, we have, I've seen where they put, because if there's 4 attorneys in my business that work there, they add up all their years. So if each of them have worked 20 years, they have 80 years experience.
80 years experience. Isn't that
if
something?
You have 80 years experience of doing the same thing over and over again, I mean, this is Tony Robbins.
Right, yeah.
What are you doing? You're the fly against the wall.
Yeah.
We've actually, for the estate planning end, we've actually created systems and techniques to help to help family members, business owners, to actually have a plan that's going to work for them when they become incapacitated, or if they pass away.
Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. And you got some pretty cool stuff. And what we wanted to do for that was, we didn't want to give the whole game away. We didn't want to tell people exactly what they were doing. We wanted to kind of make teaser information. So so for that, I wanted to write bullets and talk about what it was that people were experiencing when it comes to problems. And of course, we're writing for two different types of audiences here, folks. We're writing for the readers that read the whole thing from top to bottom. They are out there. And of course, the skimmers who just basically kind of skim through the information and get the meat out of it and decide whether or not the program's for them. So you need bullet points on a lot of this stuff, and we've written quite a few of them. And what you got to remember too is that search engine spiders, when they comb through your web pages, they like bullets too. And there's an art to writing them to make sure that you get ranked and linked properly. So anyway, and number 4, we introduce a solution scenario. So this is how the 15 critical points can actually help you. And Joe, why don't you go into that just a little bit?
Yeah, part of this was you have to almost reinvent yourself, because you have everything up here. For me, it's the law, the practice of law, estate planning. That's the nuts and bolts of it. But the selling aspect is just understanding it. For you as a business owner, it could be a restaurant in a downtown area that maybe isn't fully utilizing their window. I mean, so many things that you could probably do with the window to help, get the attention of individuals that are out there. But it's you knowing that you have one or two of these benefits and being able to write them down. It's not just one or two. You probably say things on a daily basis that separates you. But when you write them down, you actually, you come up with, it took me a while to hone this.
Yeah.
For me, 10 to 15 points. I'm like, God, here's what I thought I did, but here's what you really do. And some of these, and that's when you get the attention grabbers in there. And,
oh, that's great. And then we started to also put together, we introduced, part 5 was introducing the solution bullet points. And when we started to talk about the 15 critical steps that you need for estate planning, we didn't want to give the whole program away. So what we did was actually write sales copy. We wrote bullets that were complementary towards the program, but they're teaser information. We want to get people excited about our sales copy. We want to get people excited about the offer, but you don't want to give the whole program away. It takes the fun out of it, and you want them to take action too.
well, number 6 gets into what the action is going to look like when it's done. It's the perfect picture.
Yeah, you paint the perfect picture of life when someone is actually using your product.
So for that business owner with the restaurant, the perfect vision for them is walking away with having a great meal.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a friendly atmosphere, it's for a family, then that's what they should have, and they should want to come back. Whether you're giving them incentives to come back, or you're giving them a reason that it's that they have the great atmosphere, and best of all, hopefully they got good food.
Yeah.
And service goes a long ways. I don't know. They say I'm not participating in Michigan's bad economy that everyone hears about. But service in some places around here are just lacking. It's not like when you go on vacation and people are just there at.
It's not like Miami, folks.
Yeah.
Where everyone's trying to be your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. You want to stand out. It's interesting too about talking about painting basically a word picture of what it's like to use your product. Tom Hopkins talked about that on Monday when I saw him, and he talked about using word pictures when you sell. You want to sell pride of ownership before they actually own the product.